Hello and welcome to the SML podcast. This is SML Total Access, and I am your host, Primetime000. And today with me is my trusted co-host, ZZ the Great. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Prime? It's your boy ZZ the Great. What's up, SML? We are ready for another great show of Total Access.
Yes, sir. We are officially halfway through the season. Big things are happening in the SML. Some shocking teams, some not so great teams. I think we're going to look at each division and kind of talk about them. So
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go ahead and get into it right away here with the AFC East. So we're going to try hitting on every team a little bit here. Starting with the Bills at 5-2. I think right off the top, solid team, surprising some people. A new guy came in here and he's getting the job done. He took over week 2 and all he's done is go. He had a sim loss against the Eagles, but other than that, he's been only had one real loss. Great player, followed by Envy as a Patriots. He's sitting at 4-4, not so great. I think he hasn't met expectations yet. The Jets. That's Royce, another team who I think hasn't met expectations yet at 3-5.
yes.
And then you have Coop, who he's dealing with a crap roster at 2-6. I think he's just kind of trying to build a team right now, so it's hard to get a good feel for what Cooper's got going over there right now. But 2-6, maybe he's going to get a good draft pick and turn that thing around.
Yeah. And on the if we flip it and go over to the NFC side of things, we got, of course, the Eagles, the governor. He's doing what the governor does. He's winning. He's currently 7-1. He's um he's 5-1 in his conference. He's currently on a 7-game winning streak, and he's doing what the governor does, and that's usually win.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then next up, we have the Cowboys, which is Gramazons. He is currently at 5-1. He hasn't played his game this week, but Graham is also doing what Graham does. He's a regular season Titan. He wins. He has excellent defense. He's he he expressed some issues with the game in the beginning, but I mean, if this is him having issues, I mean, damn, you don't want to see him once he gets going.
yep.
So he's at 5-11, and then the big surprise, the current Redskins, which is WF Gamepad, he is at 5-2. Last year he was, I think he came in as the Chiefs at the end of the year,
Yeah,
or can't exactly remember,
yeah.
but he did pretty well. And this year he's starting off at 5-2. He's an excellent player. He's been putting up a fight with everybody he's played, and looks to be a contender in that division. That is a very strong division,
Very
if I
strong.
if I might add.
Probably the
uh,
toughest in the SML.
yeah, it looks like it's probably the toughest division in the SML. And then at the bottom of that division, you have the Giants, and the Giants are not doing so well right now. You have my boy Brett, used to be the cat. I think it was the Cardinals at
Yeah,
one point.
yep.
Yeah, and he's not doing so well right now with the Giants. He's a run first guy. He has Saquon, but I think Saquon's hurt. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, I think he came out with a shoulder injury, so he's having a little tough time.
Yeah, that is definitely, like you said, one of the toughest divisions. And Gab Mack, he's definitely no slouch when he gets the team together. He'll be making some noise.
Yes.
Over at the AFC West, interesting division. The Chiefs right now are tied with the Chargers. The Chiefs is Haas or more wine, more wine, and
I hate that
he he started off
nigga.
he started off slow for Haas standards, but he's 5-3 and he's leading his division, and I think he's starting to get things turned around. Something
Yes.
I will note, if he plans to win a Super Bowl, his defense has got to step up. He's the second worst in terms of points allowed in the AFC. He's allowing 30 points per game right now.
Ooh.
Not too good. And Haas is known for his defense. That's why I wanted to note that. Great defensive player. I think that's why he's struggling. Is this new Madden isn't very defensive friendly. Um,
No, it's
the Chargers up next, 5-3. Blunt Burner. He's had some big wins. He obviously beat myself. He's beat some other quality guys. 5-3. He's playing without Melvin Gordon right now. He was injured, so for him to be sitting at 5-3, you've got to be happy if you're Blunt Burner right now. He has a chance to just make a strong push and maybe make the
yes.
playoffs. Broncos, yeah, he hasn't been too hot. He's sitting at 2-6. Um, I don't know too much about him. I played him. You know, he makes some good plays offensively, and then he'll make some bad plays. So I think once he gets his quarterback situation figured out, maybe makes a few more offensive tweaks, I think he could be a force to be reckoned with. But this season, I'm probably going to go ahead and write it off.
Yes.
Um, and the Raiders, Raider fan, 1-6. He beat his first win was over Lawyer Killer. I'm pretty sure. Uh,
Yes.
and that was a shocking win. But at the end of the day, Raider fan is allowing 34 points a game, the worst AFC defensive team right now. He's struggling. He's struggling, but an early draft pick should help him in his odds in the future. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint in the SML. This is
Yes.
season one. Don't panic making dumb roster moves. Be smart about it. Marathon, not a sprint. So if Raider fan can make some good roster adjustments, I could see a good future for
Yes, and
him.
moving over to the NFC North, we uh, the first team in the NFC North is going to be the Seahawks, which is my boy Future, and Future is doing what Future does. Also, he's at 7-1. He's currently kicking butt up and down the NFC. The NFC has turned into the last year's AFC. It is packed with these
Yeah,
guys that are just completely killing it, and Seattle isn't necessarily showing up in a lot of top spots on stats. They're like I think they're four in rushing, and on the defensive side of the ball, they're like fifth in total defense. But he's winning just about every game. I
right.
mean, he's winning them convincingly at that. So Future's doing what Future does, man. He comes out and he wins. He's a regular season warrior, and one of my early picks to see who might actually come out the NFC, man. Between him, Gov, and Oshie,
Yeah,
and of
Grams.
course Grams, man, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And then next you got the Cards. Cards is another big surprise right now. We Colt 45.
Yeah.
He is an excellent player, man. I played him the other day, lost a real tough matchup to him, 20-19. Really hurt me. He came back at the very end of the game, like dove in the end zone with
Yeah.
inches. It was a crazy game. So he's been doing really well, and could be a contender here coming down the road to make the playoffs. 49ers is a guy. He's Darren Spooky World.
Yes.
He's also a great guy, man. This guy's a great young, intelligent guy,
Yes.
man. He's actually helping us out a lot on the inside here. He's a guy that's stepping up in the SML, and he's also a good player, man. Currently at 4-3, he is trying to contend out there in the NFC West, where it's very hard. And him and the rest of the pack are kind of close. This is one of the closest divisions
Yeah.
in the NFC, which might show that they are another, big division out here. You got guys that 7-1, 5-3. Spooky World is currently 4-3, and the last guy, the Rams, is 4-4.
Wow.
So, yeah, these guys are not playing over in the NFC West, and so Cowboys terrible two step. I mean, he started off like blowing guys out and like
Yeah.
trampling the competition. He's fell off in the last few weeks, and for us to be mentioning that terrible two step is currently at the fourth spot in this division, I think says a lot about that division.
That's a shocker, you know. Just to add on to that, people might be finally making that adjustment to the crazy defensive line. You know, he might have had the edge early, but now people are catching
Yeah,
up to that. Um,
yeah.
Switching gears now, AFC North for me. I've got the Ravens. I got the Meats. Definitely a top three player in the AFC right now. Meats is playing good ball. He's winning close games, averaging 28 points per game and allowing 23 points a game.
Hmm.
I see him lost a close game against Future over there in Seattle. Uh,
Yes.
he was running well with Jackson, but something that we have to keep our eye on. He had a fourth down. Jackson threw the pass, just bad pass from Jackson. Good
Hmm.
decision from Meats. So can Jackson consistently throw accurate passes to propel Meats to a Super Bowl? That's going to be the question mark. But Meats obviously a great player. Not too much to be said about him. The Bengals.
Yes.
Uh, Jay Stackham, he hasn't had too many games to play. He went away right now, but from what I've seen from him, he's a solid player. Had a solid game against two step, so we'll see. Jury's still out on him. We got the Steelers, Action Jackson. I've got a game coming up against him. He's been in the SML since last season. He's two and
Yes.
five, not sitting too pretty right now. Maybe a good draft will be in order for him. And the Browns, 2 and 5. That's my man Woods. I got a lot of faith, a lot of belief, and a lot of respect. He's one of
What's going on,
yeah.
Woods?
What's going on, man? 2 and 5. Get it together. I believe you can still make the playoffs. You just gotta get hot, man. You just gotta get hot. And so that's my pick, man. I think the Browns can get this thing turned around. If anybody can do it, it's Woods. But anyway,
Yes.
you're up.
Yeah, and then moving on over to the NFC North, we're looking at the top of the spot. We got my boy Oshi. Oshi's man, he's playing lights out right now, man. I played Oshi the other day, and it was like it was I talk about Oshi all the time, but it's unreal. Some of the dudes use the skills. I would literally see him playing on a linebacker, throw to the open guy. He switches to the safety in while the ball is in the air and comes to pick me off. It just the dude just completely like it's and it was like instant. So I watch Oshi play, man. For some reason, I just wonder why he hasn't won it all, at least once since he's been here, and it's dumbfounding. But maybe the pressure gets to him once the lights cut on or whatever it is. But Oshi has been a pick of mine for a long time. I didn't necessarily pick him this year, but it looks like he's playing lights out.
Yeah,
After that, you got your guy, the Lions, Mr. Lions PJ. He is also a great player, man. PJ plays good on both sides of the ball. He's currently not really lighting it up as far as the stats are concerned, because if you look at the top fives on just about every category, he's not really showing up, but he's doing whatever it takes to win. And coming in that division with Oshi, it says a lot for him to be 5-2 right now.
yeah,
And then after that, you got the Vikings. Vikings, arachno sapien. I don't know what that exactly means, but I'm not gonna say what another guy says it means. But yeah, arachno sapien, man. The Vikings, he's also a solid player. He's a guy that can probably make a turnaround coming up here pretty soon. He hasn't I think he started off pretty good, and he's currently at 3-5. So it's not over for him. He can actually flip this thing around and still try to make a push for the playoffs come late.
yeah,
Also, and then we moving on down to the Packers. Packers, a boy, lawyer killer, man. That is the story of the year. We
yes,
have a current champion that is currently at 0-8, and I have no idea why. He has a quarterback that is awesome, apparently, and maybe the run game might be slowing him down because this Madden. And he's also another guy who was very good on defense. So with that defense being tailored back this year, I can see probably why he might be struggling a little bit, because with it being more offensive oriented, he just might be just struggling on defense. At 0-8, man, Lord Killer, man, I hope you get it together, brother. At this point, maybe he's just writing the season off. So hope you get it together, brother, and get back on track.
yeah, man. I hope to see Lawyer Killer when he wins. It's just good for the SML. One of the best playoff SML players of all time. Um,
Yes.
anyway, switching gears to the AFC South, I got myself at 6-1. Not going to comment too much on there. Uh,
Yeah.
Texans, that's Field. He's 5-3. Started off pretty solid. He's lost a few close games. He's right in contention. He's the sixth seed, I think, in the AFC South or in the AFC right now. And if you're Field, you got that porous offensive line. I think that's kind of hindering him right now. But overall,
Yeah.
I think he's doing pretty solid at 5-3.
Yes.
The Jaguars 3-5. That's a good defense, but I think he's just kind of struggling right now, getting drives together from what I've seen. Still a solid player. He's drew a tough. He's had some tough matchups. I think he's a solid player. I think the Texans and Jaguars have both had a crazy game. So once again, just another solid player, maybe a draft or two away to kind of shore up that offense, and he might be a force to be reckoned with. And the
Yes.
Titans, Tiny Titans, good guy, active in chat.
Yes.
He's a solid player. 3-5. I don't think that really reflects how good of a player he can be. Um,
Yes.
you know, the jury's still out. He's still got the whole Madden 20 to show what he can do. But right now, I think a good draft in order, get some things on his team fixed, some holes, and he could be another team that's right in the thick of the playoffs later on in Madden 20.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last NFC category here. We got the NFC South, my division, and we're going to talk about the Bucks. Noel. Noel is currently winning our division. He's at 6-1. He's currently 6-0 in the conference, which actually says a lot because this conference is completely dangerous, and he's 3-0 in the division. And he has been pretty much doing what needs to be done here. He has one loss. I can't remember who he lost to, but he has one loss, and he's just been playing pretty much playing lights out football, man.
Yeah,
He's currently he's currently again we have another player that's like not really doing too much on the offensive side of the ball as far as stats are concerned. But if you look over at defensive rushing, he's number 2 in rushes allowed. He's only allowing 47 yards every game. So that can really show up because it's like with Madden, if you regulate a team to 47 yards each game, you're more than likely going to win those games.
right,
So
right.
yeah, he's definitely holding it up on the defensive side of the ball. Next after that, you got the Panthers. We got Mike FML needs to change his name to Mike SML. He's currently holding at 3-4. Still has a chance to get things together, make these playoffs. He's playing pretty solid. He's right now he's 1-4 in the conference though. That is either a reflection of a bad schedule or just hey, this conference is just dangerous right now, man. And Mike is currently in categories. The Carolina Panthers are second in passing and number 2 in rushing.
Yes,
So that, I mean, no, in total offense, number 2 in total offense. So that's telling me that hey, his offense is together. He just has to get things together on the defense side of the ball.
yeah,
And after that, you got NYT, Mr. Falcons. He is currently at 2-6 and is third place in this division. He's not doing so bad in the conference. He's 2-3 in the conference and hasn't played one division game, which is very strange this late in the season. But maybe he can pick it up then by playing these division games, get him some wins, get his record at 500, and who knows, could still probably make the playoffs. You never know. And
yeah,
last but not least is your boy ZZ the Great. He's currently at 1-7, getting his ass whooped all over the place. Currently on a bye week, 1-3 in the conference, and 0-1 in the division. No, 0-6 in the conference. Jesus, been just getting destroyed. ZZ just needs to get his stuff together, man. It has an excellent team. Has not lived up to standards and need to get his game right. I saw a stat the other day. I think I'm leading in sacks,
yes,
45 of them or something like that,
yeah,
and that is an Achilles heel of mine.
yes,
And as soon as we get those things fixed in Saints land, I think we'll be back
yeah.
and we'll be ready to compete again.
I think so too. So, out of the two conferences, is there a team that you think is going to make that midseason push to propel themselves to the playoffs?
Um, out of these last two conferences,
Just out of in general, is there any
out of
team?
all the conferences, yeah.
Yeah,
The teams that I think that could easily turn it around is, of course, two step. With him being in the NFC West, he can easily turn it around, and he could easily make the playoffs with no problem because
yeah,
two step is a hell of a player
yeah,
and can easily get his thing together. Mike on the in the NFC South, he's another player that might make a switch and turn it around and make a push towards the playoffs. And like I said before, I mean, just to throw a third one in there, the NYT, he hasn't played a division game yet, and he might run through his division
yeah,
and completely, switch things around.
yeah. My wild card, the only team I'm going to say is the Browns. I got a lot of faith in Woods. We've had some conversations. He seems determined. He's a good player with a good team, and I'd say watch out for the Browns to make a midseason push here. I know he's got a big goal of making the playoffs this year, so watch out for a man on a mission. So
Woods is determined. I
yes,
don't
sir.
know.
So
All right.
anyway, I think this is our barbershop talk segment here. Luck retired.
Oh,
I'm a Colts fan. What do you got going on with that? What's your opinion?
oh man. Okay. I got the news yesterday. I was pretty busy trying to get a tournament set up and all kind of stuff yesterday and get this team selection going. But then it came over on my phone and I saw that Mr. Andrew Luck had retired from the Colts. And my first reaction, I have to honestly tell you, my first reaction is yes, the Texans don't have to deal with Andrew Luck anymore.
Yeah.
But then I thought about my boy. I'd say, man, what is my boy going through over there? And honestly, man, these are my true emotions. I thought about, hey, man, that has to suck because I know you are a diehard Andrew Luck Colts fan, and for this has to be a big blow for you guys out there in Indiana.
Yeah, man, it seems like the life has been sucked out of the organization. I watched the press conference. Seemed like it's been going on for a few weeks. He at least notified the organization like 2 weeks ago, said he was thinking about it. Probably been in his mind for a while now, even back to when he had shoulder surgery. So you know what? I don't have any anger towards Luck. It seemed, he's got to do what's right for him, what's right for his family. But God, it's disappointing. Going to be one of the biggest. What could have been. It seemed like this was the year our team was on the on the uptick. But oh well, man,
Yes,
that's football. You can't get too down about it. There's other things in life that are more important
yes,
than football. So you can be sad for a few minutes, but it's like, oh well, whether they win the Super Bowl or not, I still got to pay my bills, and I still got to,
yeah. Life goes on,
life goes
brother.
on. So anyway,
Yeah.
guys, it sucks, but hey, it happens. You have Tom Brady who plays forever, and you have some guys that just things happen. So
Hey man, and as an individual player, man, he's allowed to make this decision
yeah,
for himself, man. I mean, money isn't everything, and football isn't everything.
yeah,
So, I mean, we've seen too often where guys play too long and they end up, injured or their life isn't the same after football.
yeah,
So, I mean, he's making a decision for himself, and you really
yeah.
can't fault that.
You have to
Where
like guys like
yeah,
guys like Peyton. He had a neck surgery. I mean, it
yes,
was very courageous for him to come back and play, but it was like, was that really worth it? Like it's
yeah,
cool. It was a
yeah,
great comeback, but you got all the money you need. You won. It's like, what are you trying to prove there? Which is great comeback, great story, inspirational story. But in the same token, if Peyton were to have retired after that neck surgery, you couldn't blame him for that either. So,
yeah. You couldn't.
I mean, if he got hurt, if he got hit the wrong way and twisted around, God knows what could have been. We could have
Yeah.
seen something. He could have been messed up there. So, anyway,
Parted
guys,
off the field and never
yeah,
walk again.
yeah, exactly. You just never know. So,
Yeah.
anyway, guys, I think that's our podcast. We're already sitting at 25 minutes. So, um, ZZ, you got anything to say to sign off?
Hey man, the SML is doing great, fellas. You guys are doing great with getting your games in. We've been advancing early. We got things popping. We got things going. The Primer League is currently officially underway. We got guys already have their teams. We also got a little small tournament going on in the
Yes,
Primer League. So just to
yes.
give the Primer League a quick little shout out, SML Primer, we doing it big, baby.
Yes, sir. Primer's going to be the biggest thing to happen in SML history. We're fired up for it, guys. SML Takeover, best league on the PS4. And you guys, take it easy.